Good afternoon and welcome to your evening news with me, Charley Richardson.
And me, Eleanor Rice. Coming up on today's show, does Xmas mark the spot for divorce? Find out the newest additions to the Oxford Dictionary and whether or not people have broken their New Year's resolutions.
But first, a safer and more accurate way to test for Down syndrome has been introduced by the government. Campaigners fear it will increase the number of abortions. Our reporter, Shannon Stevenson, has more.
6.
Simeon has Down syndrome, a genetic condition that causes some level of learning disability. He is currently progressing and showing improvements every day. Most parents fear that more tests could lead to more abortions, which means children like Simeon won't be given a chance at life.
So we attended one in March, they're both organised by Don't Screen Us Out, which is campaigning for the test to be brought in ethically, so the consultation period to happen. Don't Screen Us Out would rather the testing wasn't brought in, but if it is, it needs to be brought in with informed information to parents, so parents are told up-to-date information about Down syndrome.
Heidi Crowther is a protester who spoke outside Parliament explaining how she felt towards the new test.
As you may know, on October the 29th, they approved the new testing for Down syndrome, which is really sad, because they approved it without consulting us first. It makes me feel really, really sad. When I got back from London on the 16th, I was really crying about it.
But not all parents believe testing for Down syndrome is negative, as it could have good benefits too.
Well, for us, the screening was useful because it gave us time to prepare before Kenton came, and yet other mums have said actually they were glad that didn't know because then they didn't worry during their pregnancy.
I've actually had the test with my last pregnancy, my choice, and although I've already got a child with Down syndrome in my recent pregnancy, I knew it wouldn't change anything because I'd already had a child with Down syndrome. But for me, for my anxiety, I needed to know either way. I couldn't have that element of shock at the end.
The new screen testing will be rolled out by the NHS in 2018. This is Shannon Stevenson for CBJ News.
A sugar tax brought in by the government saw prices of sugary drinks soar in an attempt to curb people from drinking them. But most people are still unaware of how much the sugar their children are consuming. We found that one small can of Dr Pepper and a pizza is equivalent to a child's daily recommended amount of 6 teaspoons. Change for Life say children are having 3 times as much sugar as they should. But local cafe owner Kevin Hartley explains how sugar still sells.
No matter what you do, even if they put a tax on drinks with sugar in, people are going to buy it. If that's what they want, we give them the alternatives that we do have sugar-free drinks, but one of our biggest sellers is still Coca-Cola. If I was giving any drinks to young children, I would not give them either Coca-Cola or any other leading brands or any that's got high sugar in them. It's trying to advise them onto other drinks more healthy, or even something like smoothies. I know it's got a high sugar content, but it is a natural sugar rather than that. So I would advise them to go on to smoothies, which we do.
January marks the start of the new year, but sadly for many, it could mean the end of a marriage. More people decide to divorce in January than any other month. It seems that couples hold off until the holidays have passed in order to avoid putting stress on children and family members. More than 2 out of 5 couples said this was a leading factor for waiting till the new year. The Cooperative Legal Services predicts a 332% rise in divorce inquiries in January.
Every year, new words go into the Oxford Dictionary. YOLO, moobs and cheeseballs are just some of the latest additions. CBJ's Manat Chandel went down to check out the moobs.
Words and slangs have now been introduced into the Oxford Dictionary. Words like moobs, YOLO, boom have been accepted. In this time, when slangs have become part of our life, people question and wonder whether having these words included in a historical dictionary is necessary.
Well, language is always changing and people have always been upset about language changing, but it's a totally normal part of life. And I think it's quite interesting you've picked up those words because, yeah, they are certainly words that have been added, but other far more boring mainstream words have also been added, and it's just part of what life's like. Slang words are generally not acceptable in things like academic pieces of work or in official writing to do with work. And I think people just need to know where words are and aren't acceptable. So you use them with, certain words can be used with friends or family, but maybe not in an official setting.
An ex-boxer, Edwin, shares his insights on how he coped during school and what he makes of these new slangs.
See, when I was younger, I was always a big kind of kid, so I was kind of broad. So stuff like moves, I used to hear that quite a lot, but the fact that it's become a dictionary word is interesting. I have moves no more. I'm very motivational, I help people, take a lot of people gym, I help them work out. If people got questions, and need help learning a couple of things, I go through them. I give inspirational speeches and stuff like that, just trying to boost people's morale. You can always make a change, it's just a matter of working hard to accomplish that change.
So one of the other terms added to the dictionary is gender fluid, and this is defined as an individual who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender. With us today is Tom Kitching, the queer officer for the NTU Pride Society.
So, Tom, first of all, could you sort of explain what your role is here?
Well, at the NTU Pride Society, we have a representative for each letters of the acronym LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans and queer. So I represent anybody who identifies as queer or non-binary, and each of our representatives run events relevant to each particular identity.
Okay, fab. And so for you, as a community, with the word gender fluid being added to the dictionary, what does this recognition do for you guys?
I think it's very affirming. It's good to be able to, it feels quite concrete. Once something's in the dictionary, it feels very like you can point to it, and it's kind of a confirmation of reality, if you like.
So obviously it's so good for you guys. So why do you feel that this recognition is so important?
I think it's important because the more mainstream that kind of lesser known identities get, or the more educated people get, the better for everybody, really. The more tolerant people will hopefully become, and it's quite a small gesture having gender fluid added to the dictionary, but it's progress.
And so for it being a fixed term in the English language now, would you say that people who are struggling with identity, do you think this will help them at all, or?
I think so. When people are struggling to come to terms with their identity, it always helps to have a label. I mean, there is pros and cons to having labels, but when you're just starting to come out and realise your identity, whether that's your sexual orientation or gender identity, it's really useful to be able to have something to latch onto and say, okay, that's who I am, that fits me. Yeah. And
so largely you'd say this is a positive sort of decision then that's been made?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, fab. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now, New Year means New resolutions, but almost 2 weeks into January, have the team at CBJ News stuck to theirs?
Hello, my name's Ore, I'm a reporter at CBJ. Now, my New Year's resolution is to stop eating sweets, and unfortunately, yesterday I kind of gave into it, but I'm going to start again tomorrow and see how long I can go with it.
Hi, my name's Charley and I'm a presenter at CBJ. My New Year's resolution was to eat less chocolate, but I just had a Mars bar, so just kind of broke it.
Hi, my name is Lama. I'm a producer here at CBJ, and my New Year's resolution is to get up early every day.
Hi, I'm Brad. I'm a reporter at CBJ News, and my New Year's resolution is to stop procrastinating.
Hiya, I'm Ellie. I'm a presenter here at CBJ, and my New Year's resolution was to stop biting my nails. So far, I've gone and put acrylics on so I don't have to bite them. So far, it's going all right.
Hi, I'm Evangeline. I'm reading the weather today at CBJ, and my New Year's resolution is to save money for Ibiza.
I'm Manat. I'm from CBJ. I'm a reporter, and my New Year's resolution is to watch less of Netflix and try to cut down on Gotham.
I'm Josh, I'm a reporter at CBJ. My New Year's resolution is to live life like I'm large and in charge.
And now the latest with Forest and local sport. Here's Josh Wing with your sports roundup.
Clash away at Birmingham City this weekend. Talks for a new owner are ongoing for Nottingham Forest. A deal could see the American consortium take an 80% stake in the club. Bad news is on the horizon for the club though, as fan favourite Henry Lansbury edges closer to a £3 million move to Aston Villa. Meanwhile, in League Two, New Notts County manager Kevin Nolan is getting ready for his first game in charge. The former West Ham star will prepare his side for rivals Mansfield at Meadow Lane on Saturday. And finally, Nottingham Panthers are on the brink, or should I say on the rink of history, as they go into the Continental Cup final this weekend. Panthers travel to Italy having picked up 16 points out of a possible 18, leaving them in the elite's top 4.
Will we be getting any snow this weekend? CBJ's Evangeline Plant is here with the weather.
Nottingham and surrounding areas have been issued weather warnings as the temperature is starting to drop and we begin to see the snowy weather. After a cloudy start today, the conditions are improving, reaching highs of 4 degrees Celsius, with sunny periods developing as the snow showers start to clear. Moving into tonight, we are looking at clear skies and it will continue to stay cold and windy. The temperature could drop to as low as 0 degrees, leaving it bitterly cold with sharp frost. Tomorrow, we shall see a brighter day for Nottingham, making it feel warmer. However, temperatures will continue to stay around 4 degrees Celsius. On Sunday, it will be mainly cloudy with periods of heavy rain throughout the day. And that's your weekend weather update.
That's all for now. For more updates, follow at CBJ News Reports. This has been Eleanor Rice
and Charley Richardson with your CBJ News.